on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an all right day today. It has been a brutal weekend for Bitcoin. And now that it is Monday, we're waiting for the stock market to open. That is happening very soon. Most likely by the time you're watching this video, the stocks have already opened. So lots of things could change from the time you're watching this, but this is a bit of an emergency video. If you catch it when it comes out, there are a lot of things I need to talk about right now. We were expecting that volatility, right? We knew that the Bollinger Bands were getting tight. I put out a video specifically. I said, expect a violent move, and we got it. We got the violent move to the downside. So now we can say that it's not perfectly mimicking exactly what we did back here. There is a lot of fears of super low Bitcoin prices, sub 20K Bitcoin. I don't have to tell you that, just having a look at the fear and greed index, if we just pull that up right here, currently sitting at extreme fear. Okay. Now you could say, well, isn't this the best time to buy? Well, there is something going on right now in Bitcoin that hasn't happened in 7 years. It just happened again. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Are we looking for the bounce? That's what we're going to go over today. The good news, the bad news, and why Wednesday is the most important day of the week. We have the CPI data coming out. This is going to essentially, whether or not this is working with the rates that the Fed is implementing, it's going to have an effect on the stocks. It's most likely going to have effect on things like gold and Bitcoin. And I also want to talk about what a lot of people are referring to as the margin call from hell. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that, guys. It is a bit of an emergency video. That's why it is coming out early. Hopefully, you guys get to watch this. Like I said, it's going to be a crazy week. Wednesday is the day to watch. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. I don't even know. Is anyone even around? Is anybody still here? Anybody out there? I don't know. It's a bit of a ghost town in crypto right now, but these are when you have those opportunities, right? So let's talk about it, guys. Let's dive in. Now, having a look right here, April and May usually are green months for crypto. Last year, it wasn't great for either of them. It's not great for them right now. However, the old saying, sell in May, walk away. Usually May tends to be a good month for stocks, and what happens is people say you should sell at the end of May because usually that's when people go on vacation, they're not trading as much. So will we have a very good month this time? Well, as you guys can see right here, this level that we fell, and we knew that once we broke this level, we knew that we were going to fall, and we knew that we were going to fall hard. Now, how far are we going to fall? That is the question. The problem that really what's still bothering me on this chart, and I'm keeping it simple for you guys. We don't need 100 lines on the chart right now, but I really wanted to see something like we had here, even though this was technically a continuation of the downtrend, but here when we had these green volumes right here, that's really what I wanted to see, to know that we were having that reversal, and we're seeing lower volume, and all we're seeing is sell side pressure, right? So there is some things we need to go over. There are some things we need to go over. So this level right here, guys, is the level that I was considering, and I'm going to be totally transparent, considering putting it along at these levels. I may actually market buy if we come down, market long if we come down to this $31,261 level. I don't know if we'll actually make it down to that level. The next level after that is $29,364, and you guys don't want to know what happens if we lose that level, so let's just keep focused on what's happening right now. But yeah, at some point, guys, you are going to see a bounce. This level, really, realistically, you should see a bounce at this level, and the target would be to come back up to the bottom of this trend right here. So you could see us come back and retest around the $38,000 level. The only question is, are we going to do it right now at these levels? Or are we going to fall down a little bit lower? Like I said, if we do continue sideways, we start to put in a base here, then yes, I am going to put in a long at these positions. Just full transparency, don't do what I'm doing. If you guys want to learn how to trade, you guys know the drill. There is a tutorial above, $16,000 in bonuses. Take advantage of the free money during these bear times if you guys want. But ultimately, the last level of defense would be $29,354. If we breach that level, then I would honestly just say hold off, wait, and see where the markets go from that point. But I am anticipating, or at least we should be getting a bounce. Number one, because we're incredibly oversold. Number two, as you guys know, it's a meme. It's a meme at this point, but guys, it works every time. So as you guys can see right here, we do in fact have a CME futures gap right here. And to close this gap, Bitcoin needs to come back up to at least 35,200. So I would anticipate that even if we do continue the downtrend, even if we do, continue to fall, I still think that we're going to at least come back up and close that gap right around that level, $35,200. Okay. So that is a temporary possible relief bounce that we could be getting. But the thing that you'll notice right here on the BLX, guys, and keep in mind, this is 1 day late, so this is official. We're not seeing the new candle. There is a new candle here. It's just not on this chart. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red weeks for Bitcoin. Now, we have not seen 6 red candles for Bitcoin. Nowhere here, nowhere during this crazy pump, nowhere during here, nowhere during this crazy pump, nowhere during the 2017 rally, nowhere even during the 2018 bear market did we see this many daily candles, except if you go way back here, you could see that we did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. This was during 2014, and we did in fact get a 7th month, which was a green candle. So this is why I'm saying if we don't get a green month, this would be the first time in Bitcoin's history that we've ever had more than 6 red weekly candles, right? So that is why I am saying that there is a possibility that we could be looking for a bounce at these levels. Specifically, the other thing to point out is that there is these long-term trends right here. Now, we talked about this inflection point. I actually talked about this if you guys watched the live stream over on Debate Crypto. And I said that if that level was breached, then sort of the last level of the upward sloping trend of support to really stay, essentially putting in macro higher lows is right here on this green trend. If we zoom in and we see where that takes us, that is basically right around that $31,600 level. So as you guys can see, there is a lot of confluence happening sort of between that $29,000 to $31,000 level, which is why Peter Brandt actually had put this out and said the completion of a bear channel typically results in a decline equal to the width of the channel, or in this case, a hard test of 32,000, or my guess is 28,000. So 28,000 is kind of the last leg of defense, but he says now that 28,000 is so widely accepted as a downside target, he's saying that either price holds above 30,000 or tanks through 28K. And if we hit the 28K level and we start to fall, you're going to see that capitulation event. Now, a lot of people have been asking me on my videos in the comments below, which I highly urge you to go down, drop comments. I read them. I like to get back to you guys as much as I can. Have we hit capitulation? No, we haven't hit capitulation yet. Not officially. And I know that that may be a little bit upsetting for you to hear, because usually capitulation means that, it's over, it's done. No, unfortunately, if you look at these hash ribbons right here, we haven't even started to get a capitulation sell signal at all. It does look like we could have these averages crossing over soon, but you could see in order to have like those true capitulation events, those green dots right here and things like that, you really do need to see those crazy wicks to the downside. I mean, as bad as it seems right now, in 6 weeks, we've actually declined 31%. But I just want you guys to remember that in 2 weeks, we had actually declined 40%. If you want to go from top to bottom, we actually declined 50% right here in May of last year. Or I'm sorry, May of last year. So it was more extreme here. It's not as extreme here. So, the idea of that beach ball, you hold it underwater, you let it go and it goes up. But if you're not getting that crazy drop, or, just for example, you drop a ball from a building and it hits, the higher you drop it from, the higher it bounces. You guys know all these different types of analogies. You're not seeing that just yet. So that is something that we need to just talk about, right? Now, I want to talk about the Bitcoin price floor model, because there were a few different indicators that were saying it was different levels. I'm going to go with what Glassnode is saying on the realized price. A lot of people look at Glassnode charts, so this is like the accepted level. I know in my other video, we had a slightly different price target. Let's just stick with this one. I think this is the one everyone's looking at. So Dylan LeClaire says a Bitcoin dip down to its realized price is an entirely possible event and has been consistent with previous market bottoms in bear markets. The realized price is 24,300, which is also why I said in the video, if you guys watch the live stream, they said, what comes first, 20K or 100K? And the reason that I took the bullish side, I guess, is because realistically, you have the Bitcoin realized price of 24.3K. You have the 200 weekly moving average sitting at around 21,800 or something like that. And that's going to continue to go up over time. Now, Bitcoin's never closed below that except for the COVID crash, which was truly a black swan event, right? He also points out right here, he says, here's a standardized ratio between market price and realized price, market value to realized value. 24K would be in the tight green zone. Again, dips to below realized price have historically signaled a capitulation style bear market bottom is in or very close. So these are the things that we're looking for, right? Now, talking about what's going on in the news super quick, although honestly, I don't know how much news we're going to be covering, because news really doesn't matter right now, but this could affect the Bitcoin price. So amid the sharp pullback of Bitcoin and the wider crypto markets, the Luna Foundation Guard is set to deploy $1.5 billion worth of capital to help protect Terra USD's peg to the US dollar. Now, if we actually see what's going on over here, you'll notice that it's sitting at around 99 cents. Now, nothing to really be upset about, right? But we did see the peg, sitting around this very comfortable $1 level, and now it dropped down to 99 cents. Really nothing to be like too crazy about. I've actually seen Tether go to like 74 cents before. Really weird when those things happen. But they say while details are sparse at this stage, the LFG outlined on Twitter earlier that it will loan out 750 million of Bitcoin over the counter. Trading firms that manage capital, etc. Terraform Labs founder Do Kwon emphasized on Twitter that LFG is not trying to exit its Bitcoin position and is ultimately deploying the capital in the short term to strengthen UST in the short term. While buys and sells of UST are not meaningfully directional now, we felt it very valuable to have capital ready to be deployed in the current market. As markets recover, we plan to have the loan redeemed to us in Bitcoin, increasing the size of our total reserves. But this is sort of the problem when you get these really, really, really big whales that hold a lot of Bitcoin. Everybody roots for them all along the way, but then they find themselves in these positions. This is happening. Potentially could happen. This is actually very bad. I'm just going to be honest with you guys, and I'm sorry that this isn't the greatest news, but they're calling this the margin call from hell. So MicroStrategy's CFO explained in the company's first quarter earnings call on Tuesday that if Bitcoin's price falls below 21,000 or around 50% from current levels, it will be forced to pony up more cryptocurrency to back its $205 million Bitcoin collateralized loan with Silvergate Bank that was issued to buy Bitcoin in the first place. The CFO noted that MicroStrategy, this is sort of the silver lining, I guess, still holds quite a bit of uncollateralized Bitcoin that it says it could use to answer any potential margin calls. He says, as you can see, we mentioned previously, we have quite a bit of uncollateralized Bitcoin, so we have more that we could contribute in the case that we have a lot of the downward volatility. But again, we're talking about $21,000 before we get to that point, so I'm pretty comfortable in the place that we are now. But that being said, this is just a man's words. This is just someone saying, don't worry, we don't know what'll happen if they get in that position. Michael Saylor, I respect the guy, I love what he's doing for Bitcoin, but also these are the dangers when you do have these big whales. So talking about the most important thing moving forward, this is basically it, guys. This is where I'm going to end the video. This is the schedule of release for Consumer Price Index. We have April's report coming out May 11th at 8:30 a.m., which is Wednesday. So Wednesday, very early in the morning, 8:30 a.m., which is before the stock market even opens, right? We're going to know what happened with the CPI. So what does this mean? Well, if the CPI levels come in a little bit lower, then I think this is good. Well, if they come in right exactly where they're anticipated, then you might not see too much motion. You might see a little bit to the upside. If they come out lower, I think you're going to see the price go higher. And if we find out that inflation is still getting higher, then you're probably going to see markets tank. And I know that this is a little bit backwards thinking. You're like, wait, no, inflation is good for markets, right? Because when we were having all that money printed into the system, then we were seeing things like stocks and Bitcoin and even gold go up. Yes, understandably so. However, the fact that they're taking a hawkish stance right now means that if we don't see these levels come down, they're going to continue to remain hawkish, maybe even amplify their hawkishness, even though they said they weren't going to go higher than 75 basis points. Well, it's just a man's words, right? That's the theme of today. Just a man's words. Just a man. I'm just a guy on the internet. Just my words, right? Who cares what I have to say? Be safe out there, guys. So those are the levels that I'm looking at. If we get back to the chart right here, I really honestly think the level that we're hanging out right now, we should have a bounce at this level. I am making this video before the stocks open. The stock futures, if you just want to look at the SPF, do we have that pulled up right now? Is this the futures? Crap, I closed that tab. But anyway, the futures currently we're trading lower. So the market is currently at the time of this video anticipating that the markets are going to open lower than where they closed. You guys can be my fortune tellers. You'll know if you're watching this video after it's open. But essentially getting back to this, guys, this should be the level for bounce. If we don't see a bounce at this level, what I really still want to see is I want to see volume come in like this. I want to see something like this. I want to see a wick to the downside. I want it to see it get back, bought back up quickly. And I don't care about timing the bottom. I don't need to time the bottom if I'm doing a trade. I just need to get confirmation that we're having that reversal. If we don't get it at this level, the next one is 31,200 and the final level is 29,300 for me. I know 28,000 is what everyone's saying. For me, it's 29,364 because I think if we break that, then we're probably going to just, like Peter Brandt said, fall straight through the 28K. And then literally, we're just doing stuff that Bitcoin's never done before. I mean, 7 weekly candles, red. It would just be absolutely crazy. So ultimately, that is the stance that I'm taking. And as you guys know, I do always keep, a cash position on hand. I'm never fully in Bitcoin. I am mostly in Bitcoin. That's a fact. And I'm getting hit just like you guys are. People laugh at me. Oh, these hodlers, they lose 50% of, whatever, guys. I don't care. I've lost 50% to 80% of my net worth, like, at least 5 or 6 different times in the past 5 years. And at the end of the day, like I put out on Twitter over here, I think I'll just end on this. I actually tweeted this out yesterday. I said, remember when everyone said that Bitcoin would never go above 20K? Again, remember when we went below 20K, they said, that's it, it's over, it's a bubble. Well, guess what, guys? We did. We went above 20K. We got to 70K. Now, the same people are screaming that we're heading below 20K. Oh my goodness. Well, 5 years ago today, the Bitcoin price was $1,700. Literally, as of yesterday, you can go on the chart and you can go back to May 8th of 2017 and it was $1,700. In fact, this was around the time I bought my first Bitcoin. So I said, come back in 5 years and this will be nothing more than just a blip on the chart. Ignore the noise. So this is really that time where you have to ask yourself, where do you feel comfortable sitting? Do you want to sit in cash? Do you want to try to catch these lower levels? Or are you one of those people that feel that they don't have enough Bitcoin and now is a time to accumulate? Because for me, I don't really care at this point. We're already down 50%. It makes no sense to sell at this level if you haven't sold already. If people do continue to sell, well, great. We'll be on the other side buying. So at the end of the day, guys, this too shall pass. It's just another part of the market. This happens all the time. I do hate when we go into these markets. It sucks for content. It sucks for engagement. It just sucks all around, right? No one's happy. Everybody's miserable. Everyone on Twitter's fighting. But at the end of the day, guys, we always pull out of this. We always come out of every major situation we've ever been in, and all the doom and gloom that people are talking about. Think about all of the terrible, horrible tragedies that have happened in the world, right? Think about all the wars that we've had, all the genocides that we've had, the famines that we've had, right? At the end of the day, maybe we didn't do it perfect, right? Maybe, humans make mistakes, but at the end of the day, we've always progressed forward. Things have always corrected themselves. And this is just a correction of too much money being printed into the system. We're having, crazy parabolic runs all across every markets. Everyone's a winner. You get $1 million, you get $1 million, right? No, it has to correct itself. It has to come back down to earth. And the people that stick around during these hard times, especially buckle down, learn, invest, not only financially, but your mind. This is a great time to start reading books if you want to learn how to trade, right? Don't just watch my videos. Educate yourself. Learn about finance, how it works. Learn about fiat currencies and how pretty much all of them fail after 300 years, which, by the way, knock, knock, US getting kind of close, right? So that's it for me today, guys. Thank you for coming back to the channel. Thank you for sticking around. And as you guys know, I told you, I'll be here bull market, bear market. And like I said, my portfolio is getting hit. I do have a cash position. I am going to be buying at some of these lower levels. And I am looking, like I said, to long once we get that confirmation. But look at this. It's still, look at this. It's not, I don't know. It's not really giving me the confirmation for that bounce yet. It's not doing what I want to see. I'm not seeing the volume. I'm not seeing the confirmation. So that being said, guys, don't take the trade just because I'm going to do it. Like I said, I'm not in a trade right now. I'm waiting for the moment. Like I said, it should be happening relatively soon. If we can stay on this level long enough, maybe put in a couple closes, then I'll consider it. If we have that capitulation wick, then yes, I will 100% consider it. So thank you for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. I love you. You're awesome. Be safe out there. And listen, guys, if you don't want to trade, don't trade. It's not for everybody. Dollar cost average. You do you at the end of the day, right? So thank you for coming back to the channel. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. If you are interested in learning how to trade, you can check out these videos popping up right here, right now. Be safe out there. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, I love you guys. Peace out.